he didn't pan out for you because of injuries, right? But the thing is, you're also going to say, people are going to focus out, he didn't pan out for you.
That's like I disagree with that just because like the injury, because like he didn't pan out. Like Jake Fontana didn't pan out because he was shit. Like he didn't work hard. Like that's a true definition of a bust.
But the focus is he didn't pan out.
Clearly they didn't watch our video. So or they did. They're like, yeah, screw these guys.
They're like who is this big fat dude? Tell me what to do. Right?
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the BTR podcast.
Before we get started, please like, comment, and subscribe.
As always, we drop daily YouTube shorts, TikToks, and Instagram Reels, so make sure you guys follow us and subscribe to all three platforms. And for audio platform listeners, make sure you guys download the podcast, and if you enjoy it, give us a 5-star rating. We will definitely appreciate that. Without further ado, let's get right into it. Soccer season is this weekend, officially.
Well, Premier League officially.
Yeah, but like I guess soccer in general is back, not including the MLS. Just to be clear, European football is back. So let's get right into it. Well, obviously, you know, it's no secret now that we're Manchester United fans, even though I'm wearing a Barcelona shirt. Well, EPL wise is the biggest league we follow, so we'll discuss that mainly, preview that a little bit. Just a heads up to everybody, we will not be giving our standing predictions. We will be dropping another video hopefully this weekend, sometime soon. You guys will find out who we believe is going to win the league, relegation, European spots, etc. So stay tuned for that. Yeah, so let's just get into the preview in general. Opening weekend, Manchester City, Burnley start. We're not going to go through every game or anything. We're just saying Manchester City and Burnley because that's the first game.
That's the first game of the season. It's on Friday, right?
Yeah.
So in 2 days from the video drop.
No. Video drops Thursday. So Friday is the...
Oh, yeah. Today's Wednesday. Yeah.
So...
Bro, this timing is going to be messed up.
Yeah. Obviously, City, we mentioned the Community Shield. They kind of struggled, mainly Holland. No, obviously, take it with a grain of salt. At the end of the day, a trophy's a trophy, for sure. But it's a preseason trophy still. And we go from there. And without spoiling our picks... Obviously, City will be one of the favorites so to win it all. You're bringing back that dynamic duo. Erling Haaland has had a couple of stinkers though, so that. But I still anticipate him, arguably being. We'll give a prediction for whoever goal of the year is, player of the year is, or who scores the most goals and player of the year, etc.
Yeah, I think Haaland's on like the 6-game drought where like he hasn't scored. And I think in like the bigger games, like I'm not counting the preseason or anything like that. So yeah, I mean last year he also had a shit Community Shield, and just absolutely took off when the first game happened. Yeah. So we'll see if that happens again this year. But like City should be the favorites, right? Like they have the best squad still, and then they added in Josko Gvardiol now, the best young defender.
The rumor to get Lucas Paqueta from West Ham. So yeah, Lucas essentially one of West Ham's top players.
Yeah, that's one of.
We'll get into West Ham in a second because they reportedly made some moves, but we'll get into that in a second.
But yeah, I mean, City are acting like greedy bastards because like they're just bringing in everyone at this rate.
They did lose Ilkay Gundogan. They didn't really replace him, but at the same time, they're so deep. It doesn't matter.
Could get something done. For that.
So obviously that's the kickoff match. Burnley, a team that gets called up for the first time, Vincent Kompany.
Yeah, last time they played, it was in the FA Cup, and Burnley got spanked 5-0.
I think it was 6, but
or 6-0, but they got spanked.
Burnley dominated the championship. Let's see. I feel like they'll do fine in the league. I think Vincent Kompany's done a lot of good stuff for them. Now, granted, I didn't watch the championship, but considering how far ahead they were, I think they clinched the promotion spot, the first spot, pretty early.
No, they did early, right? The thing what I like about Kompany is like his mindset is like pretty insane because like when he was asked about
he has a big head for a reason.
He's a big head. Yeah, but like when he was asked like how do you feel about like, you know, winning the championship and all that stuff, his mentality was like, we're not the best team in a championship, even though you technically are. Yeah. But he's like, we're the 21st best team in England.
Yeah. No, so, like, it makes sense.
So like I feel like he has the players locked in right now.
Granted, we didn't know if he would have been in those relegated teams like Leeds, but obviously on paper, yeah, what he said was absolutely true. Made it to the semifinals or the quarterfinals of that FA Cup?
Quarterfinals, I think.
Yeah, and then excited to come back on that. What teams are outside of Manchester United, which we'll get into? We'll close it off with a little bit of Manchester United because they play Monday. Which teams are you looking to watch? Like, are you excited to watch, or you're looking forward to watching, or you just keeping an eye on?
Burnley is definitely one, like we mentioned, right? First place, that dominant. Like I would expect you guys to like avoid relegation.
Usually,
right?
There's one promoted team that like does decent.
Yeah, like I would expect Burnley to avoid
top
relegation.
half sometimes or close to the top half.
Yeah, I would expect that to be Burnley because like look how much they dominated Championship.
And they got rid of Weghorst.
Oh yeah, that's a big ad. Getting rid of Wout Weghorst would definitely
unknown,
help.
but yeah.
But yeah, no, Burnley is definitely one of them. Another one I want to see that I've been a fan of their window so far was Liverpool, because I like how they kind of like got rid of their midfield.
You again or some you're high on them.
I'm high on Liverpool.
Like similar to how you were high on like Corpusalo for Ottawa. You were the opposite of me on the Houston reaction, for example. You have like a lot of people. Again, I think Liverpool will finish near the top. Again, I'm not gonna disclose where I put them, but they're like I'm watching YouTubers that watch like Mini Mentor, for example. Like he's a soccer guy. He does his predictions. I think Danny Aarons, these guys. They put like Liverpool. Well, I know watching Mini Mentors today prediction, he'd put them like in Europa League or Conference League spot, I think, or even Europa League spot. So I mean, are high on them, pretty sure.
I am high because like
I think they'll be better.
They address their weaknesses, right? Like
they're trying to get. You want to know the Lavia update?
What?
Addressing their weaknesses, the guy they wanted to bring in, Chelsea offered the bid instead, and because Liverpool's not meeting up to the demand. Now I don't know how much of that if that is a play by Southampton to like either accept or be like, oh yeah, we're gonna accept Chelsea's bid unless you want to offer or match or offer more, right? So it could still be tactics in terms of negotiations, but yeah, like you're high on Liverpool, obviously. We have cousins that are Liverpool. Jeevan is a Liverpool fan. His brother, his dad. So we obviously have a rivalry there. But yeah, no, I think they'll be good. Like I think they'll contend for top 4. But I don't think they're like heads and heels above, except for Man City. They're below them.
No one is
heads and heels.
City and everybody.
Like I feel like United, Arsenal, and Liverpool will compete like neck and neck type.
Yeah,
of thing.
no, it's City and everybody else. Right now, and then. Yeah, I mean, lack of a 6 kind of concerns me, but like the fact that you added in McAllister and the Hungarian Leipzig player that we still don't know how to pronounce his name, I think that's a big add because you got younger and you can have a little bit more energy in the midfield, and McAllister is gonna be, my prediction, definitely like top 3.
Just to have Curtis Jones there. For me personally, injuries is the key thing. Right, and how stagnant is Klopp's system now? Because clearly, for the last few years, especially last year with the injuries, it's been kind of stagnant. Like they've had stinkers. Now, yes, they whooped Man United's ass, but at the same time, they've had stinkers, like put out stinkers. Right, ever since Man United beat them, that's when they kind of went downhill at the beginning of the year, and they can't really recover. On top of that, they have AFCON to worry about, so which means. Their best player literally is out, and you don't have like a Mane, who was also on AFCON leave back then, no longer there. Is Luis Diaz going to be healthy, or is Darwin Núñez going to finish those chances? Again, I think Darwin Núñez will bounce back. So
I think that, like their attacks are good. We know that.
Yeah.
And if their defense is healthy, their defense is pretty good because Van Dijk and Konate are a good pairing at the back.
Yeah, so we'll see with the fullbacks, especially is Trento's rumored, according to her cousin, center mid. Is he staying right back? Because we know his defensive woes back there.
Robertson's still good.
Yeah.
Like there's no issues with Robertson for me. Alisson's still one of the best. So it's just that Van Dijk Konate partnership, because I think Konate was injured, and then like Joe Gomez came in, and like Joe Gomez struggled a lot. So their defense wasn't the best
too, I think, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna give a team Chelsea. Now, we already filmed our video. Assuming that video comes out, stuff has changed in terms of transfer window, which we'll get to West Ham in a second. But I'm looking at Chelsea for obvious reasons. They're 12th place last year. They got Mauricio Pochettino in, but Nkunku just got injured, and he's out like for a couple of months.
Yeah.
So that was their big
injury.
addition. They are legit going the kind of like the traditional North American style rebuild, right? They're bringing in the young guys, got rid of all the old guys or guys that are there for a couple of years. That Pochettino's like, you know what? Let's just get a clean slate. Let's go. Their ownership isn't being heavily involved like they were last year. You know, pressure's on Mudryk, right? With add-ons as a 100 million player, hasn't scored yet. He's given the number 10 shirt, right? So there's pressure there. You still have Raheem Sterling for leadership purposes. Reece James is your captain, but is he going to be healthy? We don't know, right? So he's been injured, and he's arguably the best right back in the league. So that's a team I'm looking out for just because they finished 12th. I have them. I think they'll be finishing higher than they should. Higher than that, I think they should be competing for Europe for sure. So that's definitely a team I'm keeping an eye out for. And I'm gonna throw another team. I want to see Luton Town just cause they're like this. Because the reason why I'm looking at them is like I don't know their roster, right? Like I'm not gonna pretend to know their roster, but they were like supposed to like not even make it to the Premier League because of some financial constraints. Their stadium is literally like in the middle of nowhere type of thing, like connected to like a house.
It's like in a neighborhood,
like
or something,
in a
right?
like a proper neighborhood type of thing, and their stadium's super small, right? I'm just intrigued to see that.
I mean, it'll be so weird just saying games happening there. It's
Yeah.
gonna be like like how Coyotes were playing in a college arena. I feel like that would be the same thing with Luton Town because like it just feels like you're just playing in a normal park, like a Sunday League park type thing. A team that I'm looking for is gonna be West Ham United, right?
So a good transition.
Because West Ham lost Declan Rice. They're in a Europa League spot. They didn't really replace him too.
Well, the rumor now. So the rumor is, I'll allude to that rumor now. Number one rumor to replace him was Scott McTominay, but Man United didn't hold a high price for him, so I don't think they'll get him unless they add him with the guy they got, which is James Ward-Prowse, which is I think almost agreed. I don't think there's a Fabrizio Romano here we go yet. And another guy they got, it's a almost here we go, is Harry Maguire. So now it's good for Harry Maguire. He will get playing time there, probably center back, and
stay in the Premier League.
He won't have the whole attention on him like he did. Like Man United at the end of the day is the biggest club in England.
Yeah.
With bias, without bias, whatever you want to say, or you could say fine, they're tied with Liverpool for the biggest club in England in terms of not
attention,
in terms of attention, yeah. And obviously Harry Maguire for 80 mil, there's attention there. So now he'll be out of the limelight because he did decent with Leicester at the end of the day, right? So is he gonna be Leicester or is he gonna be Man United version? West Ham. That was the hardest team for me to predict because part of me is like, okay, they're probably going to get relegated. Part of me is like, nah, they could still compete for Europe. And they're in a European competition. Where is their heads going to be? Are they going to focus on the European competition? Because they did lose Declan Rice, who was their best player by far last year. And now, who's their best player? Lucas Paqueta, who might go to City. How are they going to replace him? Yeah.
So that's where I was like, that's where the interest, like I was interested in because like, the fact that they're in a Europa League spot, right? Like I just don't know. Is this like, have they been in Europa League before?
I don't remember.
Or was that Conference League? The year before?
Last year they won Conference League to qualify for the Europa League.
Yeah, but like the year before.
They didn't. No, remember they qualified for the Conference League.
So the year before. They were in the Conference League. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I'm an idiot. So so I'm just like interested because like now they're in like a decent European tournament. So like, are they gonna focus on that more? Or are they gonna focus on the Premier League more? Or how is Dave Moyes gonna balance out the lineups? Type thing, right?
Yeah. So I'm gonna go to my next question here. Managers on like what's the word? Hot list.
Hot seat.
Sorry. Who's on the hot seat? David Moyes has to be one of them, considering how bad he finished last year. Like the only reason why he didn't get sacked was because he was doing good in the Conference League. I think that's the only reason why.
I mean, so like there's something that's like there's a reason why you keep him. There's also a reason why you have to let him go. So yeah, I mean he's definitely gonna be one.
Klopp
Klopp is gonna be one. Yeah, if Liverpool shit the bed again, I think Klopp's gonna be one.
I feel like Tottenham's coach is always on the hot seat, so I'm gonna just put Ange out there.
I'm not even gonna put Pochettino on there. Like the way that Todd Bowley's firing coaches.
Well, he's not involved now. That's why I don't think he's gonna be. Yeah, I mean you're right, but they did say that he's not gonna be involved this year as much as he was last year. So that's what gives me some hope for Pochettino to stay, just because of that reason. And two, like realistically, we did the same thing with Ten Hag. Like we gotta back him, and Chelsea are backing Pochettino. Right, so at the end of the day, like back to the Pochettino quickly, he's still a very good coach, and he did well with Southampton with all those young pieces. He's gonna have a young team again this year, and I think he'll be fine. So I think he's gonna be fine, but I feel like I just gotta put Ange out there because like Todd, you already hear what Conte said and Mourinho said, so you might as well put him there, right? So
yeah, I mean so David Moyes and like Klopp are my two big.
Wolverhampton already fired their coach, or like they already separated.
They already separated. Lopetegui already.
He stepped down because of differences. Yeah.
Yeah, like few
Which
days
means
before.
Man United are probably gonna lose.
They're playing Wolves, so the new coach bounce. I don't know who do you know who they brought in?
Yeah, they let me just double check. They hired O'Neill, and his full name Gary O'Neill.
Gary O'Neill, I think
has been appointed as the new head coach. Former Bournemouth boss.
Okay, yeah, and I just feel like there's gonna be like one of those little teams that's coach's gonna be in the hot seat, like maybe Everton's Sean Dyche if they're like still battling relegation. But yeah, I mean, I don't think there should be anyone else like.
Well, like obviously the big name coaches. I want to say Pep. I wouldn't say Arteta really. Maybe Arteta. Who knows?
No.
If they're doing bad, like I could see Ten Hag on the hot seat if Man United shit the bed. Start off.
Ten Hag, Arteta, and Klopp. Ten Hag, Arteta, and Pep aren't getting fired.
Eddie Howe
this year.
as well.
Eddie Howe's not getting fired this year.
That's another team I want to do. I'm curious to see, is Newcastle's year a fluke last year?
Oh yeah, that's true.
That's the only thing I want to see.
They added in Sandro Tonali. They added in Harvey Barnes. They lost Alan St. Maximin.
Yeah,
one of the.
But he didn't fit their system, anyways. But still,
but he was really
one.
good. Like,
he was still
really good.
Yeah. So those are the coaches.
Like Eddie Howe's like, yeah, he doesn't fit our system, but he still starts them.
Yeah,
because he's just that good.
Okay, so sticking to the coaches, who will be your top 3 and ultimate manager of the year early prediction?
Early prediction.
Because obviously he's gonna tie down to your current.
Like manager of the year?
Yeah.
Like guess manager of the year.
Like predict your manager of the year and then give your top 3. So like go 3, 2, 1 in your opinion.
Okay, so obviously Pep's gonna be one, just cause.
Like one, like he'll win it, or like he's on the top 3.
He's in the top 3. I don't know if he's gonna win it just because he's already won too many, like league titles already. So yeah. I don't know how much that's gonna balance in, but I'm gonna say it. I think Unai Emery is gonna be in the top 3.
Okay.
Aston Villa's coach.
Well, to be honest, they released the top 6, but so we wouldn't really know who the top 3 is. But in our opinion, yeah, you're right, Unai Emery.
So I'm gonna go. Should I go 6 or 3? Just keep it 3.
Just keep it 3.
All right, I'm gonna go. I'm just gonna take out Pep because I just feel like he's a default. So like I feel like it's a boring answer. So I'm gonna go with Unai Emery.
But you're also predicting the winner at the end of the day.
Huh?
You're also predicting the winner.
I'm just gonna make it 4. I'm just gonna make it 4 because Pep's always automatically in there.
Yeah, fine.
So you got Pep. I'm gonna say Unai Emery. I'm gonna say Arteta and Ten Hag.
Who's winning it? Is
Pep.
Pep? Okay.
It's probably Pep.
Okay, so for me, it's obviously Pep is going to be there. I'm going to be biased with Ten Hag because there's motivation for United this year, hopefully. And then, yeah, if United finish like arguably top 2, he might have a chance. Same thing with Arteta. I'm surprised he didn't win it last year. But I'm throwing in Pochettino. I am. Because I feel like Chelsea's going to have a big jump. So that's me personally, as much as I don't like Chelsea as a fan. But being a fan of Pochettino in general, and I feel like Chelsea making a big jump from, let's just say they go 12th to even 4th. I feel like he'll be in consideration. Now, will he win it? I don't know. My winner will be... I'm going to just be biased. I'm going to pick Ten Hag.
You're say Ten Hag?
Just because. I mean, one of us has got to be a little bit biased, right? Yeah. But, yeah, I'm gonna stick with Ten Hag. No, I'll give it to Arteta.
You give it to Arteta?
I'll give it to Arteta. So I'm saying Arteta, Poch, and Ten Hag will be the 3 finalists. And like you said, a cop-on answer is Pep, but I don't think Pep will win it this year, personally.
Yeah, I feel like it's...
The only way he wins it is if it's like he's a landslide winner by like halfway through again.
Like if City just dominating.
Yeah.
I mean, one comment I would make about City, I feel like they're gonna have like a different style of winning this year, because I feel like City could win in many ways.
Yeah.
But I feel like bulk of their wins will be coming from like their defending and goalkeeping.
Yeah.
Because of like, John Stones, Ruben Diaz, Gavardiol, Kyle Walker, Nathan Ake, Akanji. Like, that's a pretty solid defensive group, and you did, like you said, lose Gundogan, and I'm pretty sure Bernardo Silva.
He's looking like he's staying. He's looking like he's staying.
But
Kyle Walker is staying because he was rumored to go to Bayern.
He was rumored to go to, right? So I just feel like they just beefed up the defense. I feel like they're gonna be like, I don't feel like they're gonna be as dominating, like getting those 5-6-0 wins, but like they'll be able to like hold out teams and like survive with 2 goals.
I mean, yeah, they're still in the Champions League and obviously all the other competitions. So
I feel like
they are the treble winners, so pressure is on.
I feel like they might be the best defensive team. By that I mean like allow the least goals.
Okay.
This year.
All right, moving on. Let's go. Like last thing, I don't really know who are all the other young players. So I'm gonna go with just player of the year. Give your top 3 and
Player
who do you think wins it.
Go with Bukayo Saka.
Winning it?
No, I'm putting it in my list.
Oh, okay.
I'll go with Bukayo Saka. Go with Mohamed Salah. And I'll go with Kevin De Bruyne.
Okay. I'm going... Who's winning?
Who's winning? De Bruyne.
Okay. So I'm going Bruno Fernandes. I feel like this is the year he'll get the jump. He's the captain now. I don't think he'll win it. I'm still going Erling Haaland. And I'm going to go Bukayo Saka. And I think this could be the year Saka wins it.
So you can go with Saka?
Yeah. I just feel like that tandem might win it this year.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of hard to pick. Like, you could obviously pick Salah.
I could pick Rashford if I wanted to. Pick any. I'm swapping. I don't want to pick both, obviously. But I'm picking Bruno this time because I feel like he is highly underrated, in my opinion. I feel like you think that too. And he might finally get the recognition this year.
The thing, like, the reason why I didn't pick, like, the other guys, I feel like anyone from Man United, because I feel like Man United, if they're going to do anything, I don't think it's going to be like a standout player. Like last year, like Rashford stood out of everyone else.
Well, yeah, because Bruno fell under the radar. But
it was Rashford, right? At the end of the day, like, this team needed Rashford to like win because Rashford's the only one. Rashford's the only one.
It might be the same thing this year, honestly. So let's transition to Man United.
Yeah, no, I feel like it's gonna be. I don't feel like it's gonna be that. I feel like it's gonna be more like team wins, like everyone's gonna chip in type of thing.
So you're finally saying like we're gonna have a team style?
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna get carried. Like,
are you sure with our striker injuries right now?
Who knows, bro?
Yeah, I know. Okay. Let's just finish off with Man United before we go to the rest of Europe here quickly. Obviously we should have done Man United before we did the predictions, but they play Monday, Wolverhampton. Like I said, Wolverhampton fired their coach, which means new coach bump. Let's see what happens. But for me, like I said, depending on how the rest of the window finishes out, we're supposed to replace Maguire with Pavard or Tadibo. We're still rumored to get Amrabat with Fred leaving. We're still rumored, hopefully we get another striker. I still think we need a striker. Even though Martial's back, he's an injury waiting to happen, right?
And Højlund
has like a weird back stress fracture thing that could cause if he keeps playing a lot. So we have to be careful with that, especially with him being 20 years old. So with Man United, expectation is still win the league, but I think the realistic thing is second. Now that doesn't mean I put them there. You guys have to wait for that video. For me, it's just like, can Ten Hag still do what he's been doing? I feel like they have the players in that mindset now. Because Ten Hag is a no-nonsense coach. Literally, he says something to the media and he kicks out the team player right after, right? Like Maguire, same thing, right? De Gea,
yeah.
Ronaldo. So he's clearly shown he's a no-nonsense coach. Like he benched Rashford because he was 30 seconds late, that Wolverhampton game.
Like, yeah, before he came.
Yeah,
he showed up late for training.
Yeah, so, and Rashford said that's perfect. That's what we needed. And players admit that they didn't have that with Ole, for example. So I think they'll have a good season. I think they'll finish hopefully in the top 4. But for me, Man United, it's just the consistency. Is our ownership going to be sold? We don't know. are the new signings going to fit in well? They are fitting his system, right? Mason Mount, Andre Onana are two big ones there. And yeah, we'll see from there. So that's
for me, I just feel like they're going to be the same team as they were last year, right? Maybe a little bit more, sharper, a little bit more cleaned up. But I don't think from last year, like, what do you think the step forward is? Obviously,
title.
But I don't think
they're in the Champions League this year, so the competition's higher there too.
Yeah, so I don't think like they're gonna win a big one like a Champions League or a Premier League. I don't think they're set up for that. But I definitely do feel like they're gonna repeat what they did last year.
Another domestic trophy, maybe.
Maybe get a domestic trophy, right? And then
make some noise.
Just make some noise in
the Champions League.
Like how they did last year. They made some noise in the Premier League.
Yeah.
They almost made it.
One thing I want to see is they fix their away record. Yeah, especially with the top teams.
But like the one thing, they made noise in the Premier League to the point, like there was a point where Man United was kind of considered potential title contenders. Obviously, after the Arsenal loss, it just fell off.
Yeah.
But like make that type of noise in the Champions League maybe, and then make that type of noise again in the Premier League again. But I don't think you're gonna win any of those yet. Like I think you're still like a year or two away, but there's definitely more you could add as well. The thing is, like, you're not like dealing with any other league winners. Like you're dealing with City.
Yeah.
Right. It's like a dynasty team now that you got to take down. For
sure. Liverpool is going to be better. We know that. Chelsea's going to be better. We know that, right? We don't know how much better they're going to be, but how much Man United to get better, in my opinion, because Ten Hag got his guys, right? The difference with last year was he had to play Maguire. He had to, especially when Lisandro Martinez was injured, he had to play De Gea. He had to play others like McTominay and Fred, even though Fred, in my opinion, had an underrated year last year. Now he brought in his guys. Like he wanted Mason Mount. Let's see what he could do. Now pressure's on Ten Hag because he's getting his guys. Now that's where I'm like, okay, I think they will be better because of that reason. Now, Man United historically has a bad second year with a new coach after obviously Fergie. I hope that doesn't happen, clearly, right? So, and I'm actually confident. Like, I'm excited. Now, every team I've been excited for has shat the bed over the last few years.
It hasn't been
like
great.
All these teams on this wall.
It genuinely hasn't been great. But yeah, no, I agree with you. I'm just saying that results, I feel like the results will be the same as last year.
I feel like we will start off slightly slow. I don't know why. But we'll pick it up like last year.
Yeah.
That's the way I want to look at it, because Onana only had like 2 preseason games. We'll see now with a proper defense, and we hopefully we get more center back depth. Lindelof, again, underrated year last year, so I'm happy we're keeping him. And Aaron Wan-Bissaka found his way to stay. Like, he's going to get a contract extension apparently now, instead of being sold to that. But anything else before we move on to the other leagues?
No, we'll move on, because we could talk Man United all day.
Yeah.
So
drop your guys' predictions below. Who do you think manager of the year, player of the year, coaches on the hot seat?
Oh, one thing we forgot was a golden boot.
Oh yeah, Haaland. And the other guys in contention for me will be Salah.
I think Haaland.
And
Salah.
If Harry Kane stays, it'll be Harry Kane. But I don't know. Again, that's a caveat. If Harry Kane stays, Harry Kane will be challenging it. If not, I will give it to maybe Nico Jackson. He's like their main striker at Chelsea. Who's gonna score goals?
I think he's gonna take a year for sure.
Or it could be Alexander Isak. I want to say Rashford again, but I feel like it will be a little bit more balanced this year. But
I mean, it's Haaland, Salah, Kane. Obviously, if he's still there. I honestly might just say Rashford again.
But you're the one who said balanced attack.
Huh?
Balanced attack.
Yeah, no, but like, what if you're scoring a lot of goals?
True.
The thing was that it was Rashford, then it was everyone in single-digit goals. It could still be Rashford, and like everyone with 14, 15 goals.
Yeah, no. Okay, so with that being said, drop your golden boot prediction winner. Drop your predictions. Call us idiots if you guys want, because I know we're a little biased, but not really.
Well, it's soccer. Everyone's gonna be biased.
Everyone's gonna be biased,
right?
Right?
Bases, right?
Yeah.
Everyone's gonna support their team, and if they don't see their team in the top four, they're like, "Oh, you're dumbasses! What the hell you guys are saying?" Right?
It goes for any sport,
right?
but
like if we leave, it's like say Liverpool's the 5th best team, right? Liverpool fans will be attacking us.
Yeah.
But Man United fans will be like, "Good job."
Yeah. All right. Let's move on to other leagues. Let's just predict who do you think is going to be the title winner, because we didn't follow much of the other. Is Barcelona repeating, or do you think Madrid gets it?
It's Barcelona. I think Madrid's going to miss Benzema.
But they got Jude Bellingham. You're right. They're missing all their attack essentially.
They're missing their attack.
But
like the main
Barcelona lost Ousmane Dembele. Now I don't know how much. Like he's still a loss, but I feel like Lewandowski will become even better than last year. Like just step up because he wasn't his classic self, but he was still killing it. So yeah, I agree with you there. Obviously, I think Real will finish second, and we'll see. The rest, I don't know, because Atletico's kind of been meh over the last few years as well.
Yeah. Then what? There's also like Villarreal, Valencia,
Sevilla,
who
had a bad year themselves.
Betis.
Yeah. All right. So.
But yeah, I think it's Barcelona.
Okay, Serie A. The winners last year were, who won it last year? Napoli. Now, surprisingly, the guy who was supposed to get sold, Victor Osimhen, is still there, right? In my opinion, it's still a surprise. At the end of the day.
But I think
no matter what Napoli,
I think end of the day he wanted to stay still.
I'm just saying in general, I'm still surprised, right? Like I thought he would have been a Chelsea player, a United player, or Bayern player, or something like that, right? Is Napoli repeating in your eyes, or do you think one of them? I don't think Juventus is touching them, because they might lose Vlahovic and replace him with Lukaku, which I'm gonna get to that story in a second.
Yeah, I saw that too.
But who do you think is gonna win? Do you think AC or Inter will come back up?
Yeah, I think it's obviously between those four. I still think Napoli are the favorites because they didn't really lose anyone, right?
Yeah.
They lost Kim and Jae though. Their center back.
Yeah, that's huge.
That's a big one. But I think I'm gonna lean towards Inter here.
I'm gonna go AC Milan.
You gonna go AC?
Yeah. They did lose Sandro Tonali though.
Yeah, I feel like Inter might be.
This is completely gut feeling. I don't even know what the roster looks like, but I'm gonna rock with AC Milan. But
you know why I'm going with Inter is because Lukaku's not gonna block their chances anymore.
That's Champions League though.
It still counts, right? Like big games.
He still had a decent year for them in terms of the league, but Lukaku. So Okay, so you guys, I don't know if we mentioned this before, but just a quick update on the Lukaku situation. Lukaku is technically a Chelsea player currently at the moment. So the funny thing was, after when he left Man United, he went to Inter Milan. Inter Milan, he had a great year with them. Like he was old Lukaku again, essentially.
Like his vintage Lukaku.
Vintage Lukaku. Then he was rumored to go to City. He's like, hell no, I ain't going. No, Manchester City. But Chelsea came calling. That was his boyhood club. That was his like first English club where he kind of started to make his name a little bit before he went to like West Brom and obviously Everton. So he went back to obviously kind of like the Pogba route with United. Struggled immediately, didn't get along with Tuchel, and then pretty much forced his way back to Inter, but this time on loan. And he went on loan, didn't really start because Dzeko was doing well. Lautaro Martinez, people have their opinion. He was still doing decent for them in the league. He wanted to come back to Inter at the end of the year. And Inter and Chelsea were working, and Inter wanted Lukaku back. And now here's a twist. Lukaku apparently met with Juventus, and Inter found out, and they're like, yeah, screw you, we ain't going to negotiate anymore. And Lukaku's team let him go, and they, like, Joven made a snake sound. He snaked them, and now word got out. Now Juventus fans are pissed because they don't want Lukaku, to the point, you guys should check this out. Just type in fans going onto the field, the Juventus field, barging their way onto the field and saying, pretty much chanting, we don't want Lukaku, we don't want Lukaku. So if I'm Lukaku, just go to Saudi and get your money. Just because like you're not even wanted there anyways. You're going to get paid in Saudi anyways.
Just get your bag,
get your bag. Like, you're
relax.
All-time scorer for Belgium. He's one of my favorite strikers. He definitely fell off. I was so happy when he was at United. He had a decent year. People want to say he had a bad year. Yes, for the price tag, he had a decent year. But yeah, so that's the update on the Lukaku situation. We don't know because Vlahovic might be in the swap deal with Chelsea. So Vlahovic actually does well. So we don't know what's going to happen with Juventus there. Plus, they're not in any European competition, so they could be focused on the league fully. So
yeah,
there's that. But okay, so that's Serie A. You're going with Inter. I'm going with AC Milan.
Yeah.
Is Dortmund finally going to do it in Bundesliga? Or are you gonna?
This is Bayern, man.
I feel like at this point it's just like not even I don't really believe in curses, but like Toronto Maple Leafs, for example, or whatever. At this point, it's who they are that I have to see it to believe it. So I'm gonna stick with Bayern.
It's Bayern, and then
they might get Harry Kane as well. So
yeah, and then Ligue 1.
Let's end it off because this is our transition. PSG, are they still gonna win it?
Yeah, I think they'll still do it.
Okay, so here's the thing with PSG, right? I don't know what to do because Messi's gone, killing it in MLS. Like, he found his joy.
Oh, I never see Messi like so happy.
Yeah.
Like he's genuinely he's genuinely enjoying life again.
Mbappe is not even like he'll play, but the problem is PSG's like, we ain't gonna play you until you sign an extension or we sell you. And he's reportedly not wanting to like. I think PSG did offer Mbappe like, listen, sign a year extension, but you're gone next year no matter what. Like, we'll sell you no matter what. And he rejected that. Now, obviously, this is a little bit on. I don't. This is where with PSG, I'm with PSG. Do whatever you can to sell Mbappe for sure.
Yeah, 100%.
But even if he doesn't play, how does that benefit you? I don't know. Because Mbappe has the control. Because if he's like, okay, let's just say Man United want him, right, or Liverpool want him on a sale, he has to agree personal terms. Now, I don't know how the loan system fully works. There's a loan fee, and who pays the wages? So they have to negotiate that as well, right? So there's that situation. And news just came out that Neymar wants out. So off the bat, my question is this like the New York Mets or the San Diego Padres of European soccer?
Spend big and just absolutely choke.
Everywhere. At least City did something. No one gives a shit about the Ligue 1 because you were going to win it anyways. The fact that you didn't win it 2 of the years is even more based.
The fact that Lille beat you. The fact that your Ligue 1 is actually like a competition.
Yeah.
Like, it's not dominance by you guys. It's pathetic itself.
You had arguably the best player in the world at the time, right? Because some people will argue. I'm saying arguably, even though he's our GOAT in Messi. Neymar was still in his prime. Mbappe is in his prime, like young to prime. So the fact you guys couldn't do shit, you still had Marco Verratti. You have Gianluigi Donnarumma in net. So it's not like you had a bunch of bums there. Your coaching situation...
Absolute shambles.
Absolute shambles. That's like, to the point where I don't blame Pochettino.
Like, you can't even get a coach to stay and like control these players.
Even the guy after Pochettino, Galtier, right, is gone. And now you have Luis Enrique. So, as much as I love Enrique, let's see what he does. Because
Enrique shot it with Spain too.
And now Enrique doesn't have the top guys.
Yeah,
realistically. So
I mean,
they added Ousmane Dembele, did well there. They added Gonzalo Ramos, famously known for benching Ronaldo in the World Cup. They added those two. They're big pieces, so they're still fine. They lost Verratti, I believe, to
Saudi.
I'll double check that. I'm not 100% sure, but yeah. PSG's been like literally the Brooklyn Nets of that KD era.
Yeah,
KD,
legit. It is like
it's literally that.
Like, they just traded. You're getting rid of your best players. You spent all this money and just you didn't do anything at all. Like, where have you gone with the front three of Neymar, Mbappe, and Messi? Where did you go?
Sorry, Verratti's still there.
Okay,
just to clear that up.
Yeah, that's big for them.
Yeah. He snubbed the Saudi league. Okay, makes sense. But yeah, I don't know, right? Like, you still have like Hakimi at the fullback position. You still have Kimpembe, Marquinhos, right? So you still have a decent squad. Maybe this helps them, right? To the point, like, they got all the distractions out. Mbappe's still there technically, so we don't know how big of a distraction.
Neymar's still there.
They're taking down Mbappe's poster out of the front of the stadium.
And technically Neymar's still there too.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like that distraction there. But it's like Mbappe not playing gonna be a big distraction. Like, because at the end of the day, it's still killing fucking Mbappe. But yeah,
bro, no swearing, man. You did too much in the Canada soccer one, right?
I know. I need to cut that back. Yeah. But we're not monetized yet, so that's a good thing.
We can't get demonetized if we're not monetized.
Yeah, exactly. But no, yeah, like, I don't know what to. This PSG team was like arguably, it's literally a money franchise, luxury franchise. You got Jordan Brand covering your jerseys, and yet you guys are like literally the Brooklyn Nets, the New York Mets, the San Diego Padres,
just choke artists.
Yeah, so. Yeah, I mean, but I still agree, Ligue 1, they should win it. But I won't be surprised if Lille win it again and Jonathan David goes insane, because he was supposed to get sold too, which is surprising to me. I think that's it for the European soccer side of things.
We'll call that there for now.
Yeah, I mean, again, watch out. Maybe not this weekend. Sometime within the next week, we'll be dropping our official EPL predictions. In the meantime, you guys drop you guys down below. But let's move on. To the Women's World Cup. Nothing really happened after. I believe there's a couple of games that happened, right?
Yeah, but
last pod we
it
recorded
was like
Sunday.
fair. England
Survived Nigeria.
England survived Nigeria. France beat Morocco.
Yeah, handedly. Colombia beat
And
Jamaica. Australia beat Denmark.
Then today it should be Spain versus Netherlands,
Yeah.
right? And then
Tomorrow is gonna be Japan versus Sweden, which is gonna be a big game.
Japan and Sweden will be a big game.
Australia, France.
Spain and Netherlands will be a big game too.
Australia, France, and England, Colombia. So those are your quarterfinals.
So like right, if you think about it, England's like the clear favorite.
If I were to rank them, yeah, I'll go England then Sweden. Personally.
No, I'm talking about like quarterfinal matchup wise.
Oh yeah, like England.
Like England, I think England has the easiest matchup.
Yeah, Colombia.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Because
France, Australia is gonna be tough.
France, Australia is
Sweden,
tough.
Japan's gonna be tough, and Spain, Netherlands are gonna be tough.
Yeah,
so
the Spain
England
and
should be in the semifinals.
I think the Spain Netherlands game might
That
be
could have been potentially Canada, man. Even if we had finished second, let's just say we upset England, that could have been Canada. So, whatever. I'm not gonna get into that. You guys could check out that video. But we have a slight update on the Canada soccer, so we should talk about that before we move on to the next sport. But yeah, so update. Those are the update. Watch out. Spain Netherlands is the first game Thursday. So
that game's at
it's actually at a reasonable time.
yeah,
it's at 6 o'clock.
Is that 6?
Yeah.
Oh, that's just even better.
Yeah. So we could. You guys could
actually watch it if you
watch
want.
it. All right, Canada soccer slight update. Clearly, they didn't watch our video. So, or
Yeah,
if they
right?
did, they're like, yeah, screw these guys.
They're like who is this big fat dude telling me what to do? Right?
Yeah, but no. Same thing as I was saying during that, their international window isn't going well. Again, they only have one friendly in October. However, September window, they have 0 because they don't have financial. They stated financial constraints, and they're playing Japan in October, while other countries around the world would have like 4 games, 3 in September, etc. The women's side, they're obviously playing Jamaica on a home and an away match to qualify for the World Cup. Sorry, the Olympics. So they're probably focusing on that there. So yeah, that's the update. Don't need to go too much into it.
Yeah, like I'm just
Unless you want to go on a crazy rant now.
no. I'm just gonna say this much, right? Like I don't know how many financial issues you have, but I'm just saying like if you're anyone at home watching or something, and you need to learn about finance, just understand the Canada soccer situation and just do the complete opposite.
Yeah.
Right? Like
Don't
I don't know,
sign a 20-year deal.
Where the hell is their money going, bro? I don't understand
CSB.
this. Right? So,
Again, we were supposed to bring a guest on. Hopefully, we could get that done in the future. But yeah, we'll leave that there. Don't want to get into it. You guys could again tune into that video where I went kind of crazy. But yeah, to the point where my mom was yelling at me to stop swearing.
bro, man, it's like gala ball kadana too, right?
Yeah. So were
Like
you
too much, huh?
So were you?
Yeah, no, but like mine are more spread out. You just got it all out in one.
Well,
thing.
yeah, I'm passionate about this.
Yeah,
So,
I know you're.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's move on. Big news happened in the MLB today. We're not gonna obviously cover anything massive, but ever since we started the pod, we had a perfect game, a no-hitter, and we have another no-hitter.
In his debut game at
Second
home.
game. Oh,
Home debut.
yeah, second game.
Second game overall, but home debut.
Yeah, Lorenzen, of course.
Michael Lorenzen.
Lorenzen got traded from Detroit to Philadelphia, who were now, your predictions kind of looking good for World Series.
They added a third
got
pitcher
a
as
no-hitter
well.
in his second game with the Phillies, which is still crazy because you have to still get to know your catcher. Now, obviously, you had 2 weeks to prep with them, but still, no-hitters. If it was easy, someone should have done it. The Blue Jays haven't had one in, I don't know, decades.
I think Blue Jays only had one
in history.
One in history.
So
No perfect games. So
exactly. So it's Michael Lorenzen. Congrats on that feat. Phillies. This is the 15th one Philly history. Most notably, Roy Halladay had 2, one in the playoffs and one in his debut season.
yeah, and then people
Rest in peace to a legend, by the way.
Yeah, but yeah, I think people are gonna say, "Oh, it's just nationals," but still, no hitter is still no hitter.
No hitter, man. Like
It took
freaking. You're not seeing like who did it. Okay, to be fair, the guy got a perfect game against Oakland, but does Oakland get no hit every game? No, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, so like I'm thinking about Lorenzen. I think he got 5 Ks, 4 walks. So I think his pitch count went up to like 125. So I'm surprised even they let him finish it, I guess.
Yeah.
But no, that's insane. I think his first start too, his debut start was like 8 innings, 2 earned runs, and as well. So I think Philly just found their third pitcher.
Yeah.
That could really help him, boost him in the playoffs. And I think they have a 4 4 pitchers right now because obviously you have Zach Wheeler, Aaron Nola. Now you got Lorenzen.
Trey Turner's coming back now.
Ranger Suarez, wrong hair Suarez. I don't know how you pronounce it. So you got like 4 pitchers for the 4 starters that will help you in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And you already have a decent bullpen. Like you have Kimbrough, you have Sir Anthony Dominguez, Jose Alvarado, and who's the other guy? Gregory Soto, the guy they traded for in the thing.
Yeah, so another no-hitter. Let's see. Maybe tune in 2 weeks. Someone else might get a no-hitter.
It's us. Lorenzen's next start against us, by the way.
Oh, okay. But I'm just saying in general, like someone else could get a no-hitter.
Oh, I know, but like if he just gets back-to-back, if you're saying that, it's going to be against Blue
Oh,
Jays.
yeah. All right, moving on. Let's go to the fight game. Let's go to a quick fire. The rest are gonna be pretty quick topics here. Obviously, as you can tell, the bulk of the video is soccer. But quick fire, off the bat, Anthony Joshua is fighting this Saturday. Excited. Now we mentioned last time Dillian White got tested positive on drugs, some type of drugs, PAD usage or whatever. So he's officially off. But they replaced him, and there were rumors it could have been
Ruiz.
Andy Ruiz called him out, but the rumor that which turned out not to be true was Rockman Jr.
Yeah.
Forgot his first name. He's now the backup for that Logan Paul fight. But Hakeem Rockman Jr. That's his name. Sorry. But the guy who ended up replacing is Robert Helenius. And now this is where me and Joe are kind of laughing here because this is the same guy that got knocked out by Deontay Wilder in his second last fight because he came back and had a fight before he accepted this one. Now, it was funny because the knockout resurfaced, right? And we're still looking at it, and I'm looking at the video of how he does like a half arm. Now, those of you guys on audio don't know what the gesture I'm doing. It was like a jab knockout. It was like a jab knockout. Like it was like a tap.
And it's not even like a knockout. He just fell to the ground and like
he slipped, like he got a contact, fell down. Like he was like,
you know, like there's knockouts where like he gets up like after
instantly
10 count, right?
or
but then
like
the ref,
he tripped.
like,
He got contacted, tripped. Yeah,
like refs counting out, like still counting 10. Like how Ryan Garcia.
This guy's
like Ryan Garcia's got stopped.
Yeah,
this guy was out cold, bro.
Like his eyes were bug-eyed.
Bro, we thought he died.
Yeah, it was bug-eyed.
Like it was
to the point when Deontay Wilder was crying after.
Like it was really bad.
Yeah, but he's back, which is good to know he's healthy.
Good to know he's healthy. Yeah.
But well, who knows what's gonna happen now? Anthony Joshua, obviously, let's see how he's gonna fare against him because clearly he's rumored to fight Deontay Wilder in the future, and I don't think he will knock him out in the first round like Deontay Wilder did. But yeah, that thing resurfaced and it was hilarious to me, like how he did that. Like I don't know how he did that. Hilarious that he didn't get knocked out. I'm saying hilarious that like just doing a half arm punch on the corner,
like a half-ass jab, basically, right?
And that was like Wilder's first fight back since the third Fury fight loss.
Yeah, the Fury loss.
All right, moving on to UFC. Big news. Israel Adesanya is back. He's fighting Sean Strickland. The guy he was supposed to fight was that South African guy. Forget his name on the top of my head here, but he's injured, or he just fought as well, so it makes sense not to fight him. But yeah, Israel Adesanya fighting back in his hometown in Australia. Not hometown, but home country. Representing in Australia in Sydney, UFC 293 on September 9. This will be Izzy's 11th consecutive UFC title fight. And on that card will also be Tai Tuivasa will be back. Bam Bam
Tuivasa
versus Alexander Volkov as the co-main event. Makes sense. Tai Tuivasa, I believe, is Australian or New Zealand. So
I mean, the first time I noticed Tai Tuivasa was with the Nelk boys.
Shui.
And then
the Shui.
Yeah, and then he's also drinking out of his shoe after post-game fight, right? Basically, yeah. So
who doesn't look like a fighter?
He does not look like a fighter, but he beat Derek Lewis.
Yeah, and then
he beat some big names.
He beat big names, so
but then obviously eventually lost to Cyril Gane for the interim title?
I think it was just like I think it was a fight in Paris. It was
just like a normal fight?
Yeah, it was a normal fight. Because I mean, I don't know if it was for the title, but usually the title fights are on
or like a next up for a title.
Yeah,
like winner gets title shot type thing.
For the heavyweight, Cyril Gane was the interim. Oh yeah, Nagano had the belt.
Yeah, Nagano had the belt.
So it was like next up, probably.
Yeah, it was like next up.
But so that's that card. So upcoming main events. Next, I think in August, on this month, literally, it's gonna be Sean O'Malley versus Aljamain Sterling.
Oh yeah, there's beef too, right?
Right. September is now Izzy versus Strickland. October, your boy Oliveira's back against Makachev, and obviously that card is stacked. We'll get to it closer, but I know that card is stacked. And then John Jones versus Stipe Miocic in November.
Oh, we got some main events.
We got some good. I think it gets like better and better in my opinion.
It gets better and better, yeah. Like that John Jones Miocic. It's like, gonna be a fight to watch.
Yeah. So that's the fight game. Prediction. Do you think Joshua just wins?
Was it this weekend?
Yeah.
I think Joshua wins.
Yeah. Like I don't think it'll be first round knockout, but I feel like he'll stop him.
Yeah,
like,
Joshua.
I don't know if he'll knock him out cold because Joshua's last few fights haven't been crazy. But
but no, I think Joshua will get it.
Yeah, I think he'll stop him eventually. But okay, moving on. Do you want to go NFL or do you want to go NBA? Because we have bigger news, I guess, in the NFL. NBA has some news, but there's also a trade rumor that we have to get into.
Go NFL.
All right, NFL off the bat, the running back market is kind of weird because, as you guys all know, we're Indianapolis Colts fans, clearly by this pennant right here. We already explained our Jonathan Taylor. By the way, thank you for the support on the Jonathan Taylor video, as well as that podcast episode. But he's obviously on the PUP list still, rehabbing, stuff like that. Now, where we're getting into is Kareem Hunt. Kareem Hunt and who was the other guy that went to work out with the Saints? I'll double check.
Another guy?
Yeah, no, not a running back though. It was a different position. It was a defensive player, I believe. But anyways, Kareem Hunt. I'm gonna stick to Kareem Hunt.
Visited the
Saints, but as soon as he visited the Saints, apparently he got a call, or his agent called him through his agent that the Colts wanted to offer him more money than the Saints. Now, obviously, that gave us a little weird pause. Like, okay, now, yeah, granted, JT contract issue / injury, Zach Moss injury, Deion Jackson got injured, but we also just signed Kenny and Drake, right? So, okay, we still need a running back. Now, obviously, Colts fans had a mixed reaction because of Kareem Hunt's past. If you guys don't know what happened, just Google Kareem Hunt and you guys all know. We don't want to get into that. And he ended up leaving New Orleans, didn't get a contract, didn't agree to a contract, came to Indy, worked out, and today, so Wednesday, still didn't sign the contract. Supposedly, I know I forwarded the message or the tweet to you, the post, I guess I could say, that he wants to maybe look elsewhere because if Indy offered that much money, maybe someone else will. Now, I don't know how risky that is because Ezekiel Elliott, Dalvin Cook, these guys are still available, like my buddy mentioned.
This is hella risky
because like you clearly see what the running game market is like. So how much did the Colts offer? I don't know.
I mean, like,
because JT's making close to $5 million on his rookie deal.
Yeah,
is it JT money? I don't know.
It can't be. Is it like
it can't be because it's risky because if you walk away from that money, you might not get that money back.
You might not get a visit again.
Yeah,
right. Like I don't think Cook and Elliott gotten that many visits, right?
Yeah.
Like, the fact that you got 2 visits and a team wanted to offer more money and you turned away thinking that more teams are going to come and give you more money. Yeah, that's not happening.
So, that's the side of things. Obviously, as Colts fan, I don't know what to feel about this because I still want JT playing. I'd rather have JT. I still feel like JT will play week 1 and he'll ball out maybe the first couple of weeks and get his contract because, again, Irsay has a history of giving money. Now, how much is Irsay pissed off because of JT's agent? We don't know about that, but going with the history of the Colts, as risky as Irsay does the business, because he does pay non-premium positions a lot of money, except for the quarterback, obviously. A guard isn't like a premium position, right, compared to a left tackle. And same thing with the linebacker position that Shaq Leonard plays. So, yeah, something to keep an eye out for. Sticking with the running back market a little bit, former Colt, Marlon Mack, tore his Achilles again.
Yeah,
just signing with
second time he did it.
Just signing with the Cardinals.
Once with the Colts.
Now with the Cardinals.
So it really sucks, especially that big of injury twice. As definitely takes a toll.
Yeah.
And especially with the running backs already getting done, we don't even know if you could probably the last time we hear of Marlon Mack, but hopefully not.
Yeah. Anthony Barr was the other guy, the linebacker that went with Kareem Hunt. transitioning to a little bit of a tougher news here. Obviously, people know Henry Ruggs of what happened with the car accident. Again, you guys could Google it. I don't know. It happened last year or the year before. Also summarize it. He got into a car accident, high speeding, killed the driver and the dog, I believe.
Yeah, he was under the influence as well, right?
I'll fact check that. I don't want to say.
I think he was. That's why he was speeding that much, because I think he was.
I think yeah, I'll double check. I know he was just speeding, but anyways, his obviously got kicked out of the league. Like the Raiders released him. Talented player. He was the first wide receiver off that board of that year's wide receiver
he's
class.
A speedy wide receiver.
Speedy wide receiver.
Definitely was the number one receiver at that time when the Raiders had him, because they didn't have Devontae Adams then. So Derek Carr's favorite option, him and Darren Waller.
Yeah.
So then we're like, oh, okay. Then this news comes out. We're like, okay.
Yeah. So you're right. It was under the influence, resulting in death of a 23-year-old and her dog burning to death. And I don't want to put too many images out there, but in terms of in you guys' mind, but that's what happened. And today was his, I guess, hearing, and he got 3 to 10 years. Now, obviously, we don't know how much of the 3 minimum for sure. I don't know how much. We don't know U.S. law. We're not going to get into the U.S. law. Yeah, so it's 3 years obviously seems a little less. I don't know. Again, we don't know the law. Considering it was a DUI as well. So.
Yeah, and resulting in death obviously it just makes it even a worse situation, even more of a tragedy as well. And then, like, if you like hear the stuff about it, like Henry Ruggs, like what you heard from teammates at his time, right? What you heard from Nick Saban at the time, were like, because he's like a genuine good dude.
Yeah,
but he just made a bad terrible decision. Yeah,
similar to the Humboldt situation, where obviously that one hits a little bit different. There's Canada and Punjabi driver differences. I think he wasn't under the influence, but it was dangerous driving. He wasn't trained properly. You know, he ended up getting I think 7, but he actually admitted he didn't even bother going to court. He's like, I know I messed up, and again, I'm not gonna get into that. It's a little touchy subject for us. We're not that type of pod, but we had to share the news here. For that. Now, tough transition. Johnny Manziel, quickly. People know his time, being a party animal in college, Heisman winner, gets to the league.
Fell out of
the league.
Fell in the draft.
Got out of the league.
Drafted by the Browns, then struggled. Fell out of the league.
Went to the CFL. Had a year with Montreal. He got picked up by Hamilton, but got traded to Montreal.
Yeah.
Got kicked out of that league somehow for whatever reason.
I don't even know why he got kicked out.
Yeah, then he went to like the AAF, I believe it was, and then in some other league recently. He has a doc coming out. It looks like a sick doc to watch. He admits to like almost committing suicide after the Browns exit, where the gun jammed. I believe, again, this is what has been said. And in terms of like, even like, he's like, I watch like kind of like Jamarcus Russell. I watch like he admitted, like, I watched zero film.
Like zero film.
So the fact that he was balling in college, doing all the shit he was doing, passing drug tests left, right, and center, he thought I would have passed in obviously the NFL. Clearly didn't.
I mean, the fact that you did it in college
slapped him in the face.
Yeah.
Jamarcus Russell all over again, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Then now it's good to see he's figuring his life out now, but what could have been?
Yeah, it's genuine. What
I think it's out on Netflix, so you guys could probably tune in. But
yeah,
it's definitely a story to see for sure. Like,
I'm just thinking, like, if you're doing all this stuff in college, like, is college football?
Dude, I remember watching like TSN or like Sports Center or Sportsnet, sharing like his behind the scenes, or even like ESPN clips on YouTube of what the shit he was doing behind the scenes, partying like with Drake, I believe, and stuff. So,
and then you're winning Heisman trophy.
And he won a Heisman.
Like, the talent was there. It's not like the talent wasn't there. Yeah. It was just like, now when you get in the NFL, it's not just talent. It's just hard work as well.
Yeah, like there's a reason why Tom Brady is probably arguably he is the GOAT.
Yeah,
right. Like, he was a 6th round pick. So there's a reason why Brock Purdy is now the starting quarterback of the San Francisco 49ers. That's Mr. Irrelevant, the last pick of the draft.
Yeah, I mean, like, Johnny Manziel watched zero film, and then there's news in Colts camp where Anthony Richardson doesn't stop watching film.
Yeah. So check it out. It might be a good watch. Obviously, I'm gonna try to see if I can watch it sometime soon. But yeah, let's move on to the last thing. Let's get to the NBA. Off the bat, we got some news. Josh Hart has officially extended. I thought he already did, but he officially extended his contract. 4 years, $81 million deal. So just over $20 million a year. Deserved, in my opinion. Like dude's a workhorse. Like every team would want this guy on your team.
Yeah,
like,
you would
in
want
any
Josh
role.
Hart.
Like you want him as a mentor. You want him as like a hustle guy. The dude's 6'4", getting like 10 rebounds a game. Right, I loved him on the Lakers. I wish we didn't trade him in that AD package. We had to.
Good defender.
Yeah, good defender. Streaky 3-point shooter. He had a struggle. He struggled with Portland, but when he got traded to New York, he killed it.
Wasn't there a playoff game? I don't know I think it was against the Cavs where like him and Jalen Brunson played like 48 minutes.
I know Jalen Brunson did. I don't know about him.
I don't know if it was him or someone else, but I know there were two guys that played 48 minutes.
But yeah, I know. Obviously, Josh Hart currently on Team USA for a reason. Yeah, congrats, Josh Hart. You got your payday. Now, I'm gonna transition this to slightly because to your Raptors a little bit. Before we get to the Pascal trade rumors, OG Anunoby wants roughly $30 million a year. A, is this a good comp? B, would you pay him $30 million?
30 mil is a lot for OG.
Considering Josh Hart's getting 20.1.
A lot for Fred as well. So it's
well, Fred's different. Like,
I know, but I'm saying if it's a lot for Fred, it's a lot for OG still. Yeah, I mean,
well, Fred's getting 40.
But, that's a different story.
Yeah,
but like I'm just saying, it's a lot for Fred. It's a lot for OG.
Yeah.
The thing with OG is like he's a good player, but
he was all defensive team this year, right? Second team.
I think so.
I think he got it.
I mean, he should be in it, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because he is a god defender.
So there's another reason.
Yeah, but like the thing with OG is like injuries, right?
Yeah.
Like every time this guy has a good stretch of games, right, offensively and defensively, where he's playing both sides of the floor, he gets injured, out for 2-3 weeks, and then can't really get back to the same level again.
NBA steals leader as well. So he has a little bit of a resume on the defensive side already. He's been snubbed before. Like you said, injuries is a big thing. Again, I would have still traded him for those 4 firsts that were potentially there. I don't know if they're still there. I would, like I said, I agree with you that there should be a clean slate, build around Scotty. Even Gary Trent at the most could stay.
But the thing is,
but they're trying to build around
OG
both of these
and
guys.
Scotty, yeah.
And he complements him in a way. Now, because OG can be unrealistic because he does say he wants ball handling duties, but we know his handle is like Jaylen Brown level at times.
Yeah, it's not great, right?
So, yeah, no, I just wanted to throw that out there because of this. I do have a question for you before, I'll ask it right now. I was listening to this on the radio too, or not radio, on Through the Wire, and I want to bring it here. Do you correlate overpaid and overrated together? Or do you think there's two separate things? Because in my opinion, there's two separate.
They're two separate things.
Okay.
I mean, overrated is like hype.
Yeah, so like
right?
For me, like Fred VanVleet, for example. Overpaid, we both agree, 100%.
Yeah.
Dylan Brooks, same thing, 100%. The thing with overrated, though, is like no one's saying Fred is a top 5 point guard in the league, though. That's, in my opinion,
that's hype.
overrated.
That's hype.
Yeah. Right? Like, people are still considering Fred fringe top 10, for sure top 15 probably. Like, they're still rating him correctly, but he's still overpaid.
But he's overpaid, yeah.
Right? Dylan Brooks, I feel like, again, I don't think he's overrated either because no one's putting him in the top.
Yeah, because everyone calls him shit.
Yeah, but again, I feel like in the end, that fact, I think he's slightly underrated because of his defense alone. But we're not going to get into that. Like, for me, you know me, and I know you're very similar. We don't really hate on players a lot. Like, we know people that do. On obviously, Twitter is a different animal. I'm talking about in personal lives. That, oh yeah, this guy shit. This guy blah, 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 right? Like, me, I just watch the game for the game. I don't think overrated, underrated is a big thing unless something massive is being thrown. Like, yeah, for the sake of, I know we do our classic shorts and TikToks on overrated, underrated. That's just for the sake of content, right? But even like in general, like no one in my opinion is like fully overrated, underrated. It's just like, yes, if I do hear Jaylen Brown's a top 5 player, sure, I'm gonna say that's overrated. But or like he's a number 1 option, I think that's overrated for sure. Then I'll say that, but at the same time, it's like I feel like everybody's rated properly. It's just because the pay makes them. People like to correlate that.
No, it depends.
There's some people, yeah.
There's some people who can be hyped up more than others.
I'm not gonna listen to the person's
there's
fan base. Like,
something-
if the Celtics fan is saying that, I'm gonna just take
Yeah,
that as a
obviously.
biased fan, obviously.
Yeah, but like, yeah, so you could that case, you're like, okay, you're overrating your player.
Yeah.
That still counts, right? You could still say they're overrated. There's nothing wrong with saying that, or they're underrated. The thing with
just rate them properly. You don't have to say them.
Yeah, I know.
overrated.
Yeah, no, but like, I'm just saying in general, like, just some things like the networks and everything else, the media just hype up some teams more than others, some players more than others, right?
So
like and it's also your personal thing. Like, there's also teams that you're high on, right?
Yeah.
I'm assuming you're high on the Lakers this year.
This year, yeah.
Yeah, but if if they disappoint, you're like,
Perfect
okay, they were
example-
overrated.
Perfect example in baseball, Texas Rangers. I was like, people are underrating these guys, so I was high on them, and they've proven me right. Like, now in your eyes, they're probably underrated because of that,
Yeah.
right? Like the Orioles, for
And-
example, were like highly underrated at the beginning of the year, but now as the season went on, now you could say they're perfectly rated because they're sticking to that. Pittsburgh was a team you could say they were overrated because look at them now, the Pirates.
No, not really. Pittsburgh, because they were supposed to be bad.
No, at the beginning of the year they were underrated, and then they went to normally
Yeah,
rated.
no, but I'm saying they were supposed
So
to
at the
be what
beginning of
they
the year,
were
people
right
still
now.
say I think they're overrated because they felt like, oh yeah, right.
I mean, yeah, but people have their own opinion.
And yeah, exactly.
But like, you can't the thing with overpaid and overrated is hype, like I said. The thing with overpaid is it brings a spotlight to the thing,
That's why,
right?
Like,
So once you have the spotlight, and obviously if you're Fred, for example, you're gonna have to pay like a 40 million player. But if you're not playing like a 40 million player, everyone's gonna think you're overrated. But that's not the case because you're not a top 5 point guard.
Exactly.
If you're getting top 5 point guard
there's
money,
two different things. So I
Yeah.
thought we were gonna have a full argument about this, but no. Okay, so you agree?
yeah,
Same thing. I think we share the same opinion here. Bust injuries. Is Greg Oden a bust in your opinion? Or is he not because it's not really his fault that he was injured? Because like injuries, people love, like, for example, Kawhi Leonard. In your opinion, is he overrated? I don't think so because
No.
when he's on the court,
when he's on the court, Kawhi's a beast.
yeah, like you could argue AD. I agree with that. Sure, like
80,
I'm not,
like 80, yeah, because 80
because he's
like
inconsistent.
shown inconsistencies.
Yeah, like Kawhi Leonard on the court has
Kawhi
never.
Leonard is-
I've never seen him. Oh, well, maybe he's had like obviously the bubble, but for the most part,
Like, he's consistent.
He's been consistent, right? Now people are gonna be like, "Well, he's overrated because of the injury." I feel like that's two different things. So my question to you now is, how much does injury play a factor in this overrated, underrated conversation, or in bust level?
It's not for me. Not as much in the overrated, underrated. But if for bust conversations, kind of is because
I can't really say that.
you like it kind of does correlate with it,
But like, okay,
better than it
let's
does
just
with
say
the
like
overrated
like
side.
Greg Oden blew out his knee, right? That's pretty much what happened. He messed up his leg. He got injuries. You can't really say like, unless he's like doing some Jamarcus Russell shit, like he doesn't give a shit, and then got injured because he's like eating all the time, not exercising. Like, that's a whole different story. But if it's a bust, like, if it's an injury like, Kawhi Leonard or Anthony Davis type injuries, and he couldn't come, like DeMarcus Cousins, you're not gonna call him a bust now. Because once upon a time, DeMarcus Cousins was us.
You can't.
But
That's
like,
a different
I'm
story.
just saying, like,
Greg Oden's a different
let's just
story.
say that DeMarcus Cousins injuries happened in his first rookie year. Is he considered a bust? You can't blame Sacramento.
What word would you use then?
I just like you can't rate him because like you can't blame Sacramento for picking him at the time.
But it's also a wasted pick.
You don't blame, like, now it looks
But
like
it's also
but
wasted.
It's a wasted pick. But the problem is, like, for example, like, obviously I'm not gonna bring death in. Death is a whole different thing. Like, you literally can't control that, right? Like, for example, Luke Burdone.
Yeah.
That's a whole different conversation. But what I'm like, Len Bias, for example. But like with Greg Oden is, like, it's not like people are gonna say, oh yeah, it's a bust because KD was second, okay? But you can't blame Portland for picking Greg Oden at the time because he was at the time probably from what I know was the guy. There was a reason why he was gonna go first. You can't control injuries, right? Like, who knows when someone's knee could just give out of nowhere, right? It's different if he's not doing shit like he was supposed to be doing. Now, I don't think that was the case for Greg Oden. That's like Anthony Bennett's a whole different situation. Like, his performance labeled him a bust.
Yeah.
Whereas Greg Oden, I don't think it was the case. Because like now, if he comes back from that injury and he performs like Boogie Cousins, that you can't really correlate it too much either. Because for me, like, I don't consider injuries bust. Just because like you can't control, you don't know what's gonna happen at any time. Like, football, it's a contact sport. Anything could just happen in the first hit of the game. Right, so that's my opinion, at least.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's more of a correlation than the overrated underrated conversation. Like injuries, like because there's no other way you could describe it. Like what else are you gonna describe it as, right? Like it's either like he didn't pan out for you because of injuries, right? But the thing is, you're also gonna say people are gonna focus on he didn't pan out for you.
That's like I disagree with that just because like the injury because like he didn't pan out like Jake Vertana didn't pan out because he was shit, like he didn't work hard, like that's a true definition of a bust.
But the focus is he didn't pan out. That's the words people are gonna hear.
Yeah, I mean right? I get that, but
if you could find,
but realistically I gotta look at the injury, and if it's like that a serious injury, you can't blame the guy for getting a serious injury.
I know, I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying
I'm just saying that in my personal opinion, that's how I look at it.
But I'm saying that this has more of a correlation than the one we discussed about before, and like I don't know, maybe just someone needs to find like a new word for it, like a new,
because like the same thing at the Kawhi, like I know he's played before, but I'm saying like now people. Like if Kawhi Leonard is playing, he's probably top 5 in the league. Would you agree with that? If he's
100%.
But people are gonna say like, oh yeah, he shouldn't be because of the injuries. Now I judge like my ability, like if I were to like judge a player, I judge it on his play of basketball. Like I think Kawhi Leonard is a top 5 basketball player. Now yes, you gotta throw the injury prone factor a little bit, but at the same time,
you gotta put a factor in because like.
But how much of a factor?
If he's not on the court, right, you can't really compare him to a guy that's probably up and coming, like more like say Devin Booker, right? Who's getting into that.
But you would agree that Kawhi Leonard is a better player than Devin Booker is, right?
Yeah, no, but like we can't.
I'm just saying in general, like as a
we
player.
Can't like when we sweep Kawhi, we saw baby Devin Booker, but now we're seeing Devin Booker full form. But we can't compare Devin Booker to full form right now because Kawhi's not on the court, so it's kind of difficult.
The 2 games Kawhi did play, he fucking busted their ass. So like that's at the same time with KD and
I know I'm using it as an example.
It's a tough discussion. Like I view injuries differently than many other people do, right? Like obviously we have a cousin that thinks like if he's an injury prone, you can get rid of him no matter what. But I say you take a risk at certain things. For example, Anthony Davis, right? Kawhi Leonard, right? Guys like that. Greg, back to the draft pick thing. For me, like Greg Oden's not a bust in my opinion. That's just me. Because like you can't control that. Like an injury could happen at any time. That's just me.
Yeah, I know, but like it's still considered. Like obviously people are still gonna consider it. Like I'm in the middle, right? Like because at the end of the day,
I'm in the middle. I'm definitely in the middle for like the Kawhi Leonard, Anthony Davis talk. But for the draft pick, I'm not in the middle. I'm
in the middle. Like I'm not gonna say he's a bust, but I'm also not gonna say like. I'm still gonna say they like
like you would agree Jake Vertana is more of a bust.
They wasted a pick. Yeah, obviously that's a different story.
Or like Anthony Bennett or whatever.
Like I'm like with the Greg Oden thing is like he's not a bust, but it's also he didn't pan out. So like what do you consider him as? That's the type of thing, right?
Like for you, Anthony Davis is not a bust because he did technically pan out. It's just like now he's getting the injuries.
That's different. Like
no, I'm just confirming the way you're saying. Yeah. Because Anthony Davis did pan out.
Yeah, I'm not saying Anthony Davis is a bust.
I didn't say you were saying that. I'm just confirming something. I'm just comparing it.
Yeah.
I didn't say
but
that.
That's a different situation. Greg Oden didn't even play.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying like for you, because he didn't pan out from the beginning.
Like I don't consider that a waste for a Pelicans. Because he still played for them.
Yeah.
But for Portland, I consider it a waste because Greg Oden couldn't even get on the court.
And then Kevin Durant went. It doesn't help when Kevin Durant goes second.
Yeah, and then the spotlight, especially when you're.
Yeah, no. Again, we'll agree to disagree a little bit there because like for me, I don't think it's a bust, but because you can't control that injury. But comment what you guys think below. Good conversation to have though, for sure.
Yeah.
All right, let's go back. Pascal trade. So reportedly by Shams, so it is legit. Well, we would assume it's legit because it's Shams. Obviously, Atlanta Hawks are trying to replace John Collins, and obviously Pascal fits that mold. Pascal wants to resign. We already know that's the situation. Well, we don't have to get into that. The trade offer was multiple picks, AJ Griffin, son of former Raptors assistant, now Bucks head coach Adrian Griffin, and DeAndre Hunter.
Yeah, I mean, players wise,
Raptors rejected it.
Yeah, no, players wise, I could get why they rejected it. We don't know what the picks were, so obviously we're not going to know.
Yeah, for me, it's like DeAndre Hunter kind of fell off. Like I thought DeAndre Hunter had a decent year. Apparently, he didn't.
He did not.
Like I was hoping he would be that OG Anunoby role. Obviously, you would want like in that case you want like OG Anunoby type player in return. DeJounte Murray can't get traded until like
Yeah, Murray's
a couple
like,
of like a month
like they have nothing player wise to give up.
So that's what I'm saying. Now you guys have to find a third team trade.
Yeah.
To figure something out, whether that be Portland, whether that be or four team in Miami. But yeah, there's that. Like I could see like throwing in Tyler Hero, for example, could sweeten that up a bit.
But like, yeah, I mean, as like from what I'm saying, obviously it's just still gonna seem like he's gonna get traded.
Yeah, because they're saying it's inevitable. But
but
we
like,
don't know.
We don't know. We gotta find.
You're still on that train.
Yeah, trade him now, right? There's no point. What the hell?
And like, OG, you gotta figure out what he wants because he's a free agent, and you don't want to have a
you fucked up with Fred.
You don't want a whole Fred situation either. So
yeah, like you messed up with Fred.
Well, Kyle, you ended up getting a sign and trade, but
that's still useless because we had a much bigger package in the trade deadline, but they overvalued him. They didn't get rid of Fred in time. Got lost in for nothing, and then don't do that with Siakam, and you know what, OG as well.
Yeah. All right, moving on. Just final thing, very quickly. FIBA training camps have begun. Team USA already played. My boy Austin Reeves apparently was balling out. Paolo Banchero might be starting center or playing five more, not starting center because Jaren Jackson will be that. But according to Steve Kerr, he'll be playing the five more. Canada side of things, they lost to Germany today, and Jamal Murray might be questionable.
Yeah,
that's the thing that hurts because obviously we would have had the best backcourt in my opinion, at least from our knowledge.
Yeah,
but so Jamal Murray obviously played till June, so the fact that he even committed was kind of surprising, but we were happy. So he hasn't traveled to Europe with the team, so hopefully he will end up traveling, I believe, to Indonesia, where they're starting off at, and ends up playing, because we need to see it. Even if he doesn't play, it's still the greatest roster Canada has sent, but it takes a huge hit because Corey Joe is not playing no longer. O'Shea Brissett. No, sorry, not O'Shea Brissett. Was it O'Shea Brissett?
I didn't see it.
I remember I was talking to you about it yesterday, but there's a couple of guards that are no longer playing. Kevin Pangos is not playing. He's a FIBA guy in general. But yeah, so hopefully Jamal Murray plays. That's the key, but just Canada fans be ready for if he doesn't.
Yeah.
That's all I got to say. On the other injuries I saw where Kristaps might not play for Latvia.
Okay.
Because I think he hurt his leg or something, and we'll see. So obviously the World Cup starts in a couple of weeks, so we'll keep it short. We'll preview that later on down the line. But that's pretty much it. Yeah. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. We had a lot of good discussions, I think, today. So, comment your guys' thoughts on your guys' soccer predictions. Give us your thoughts on the whole overrated, underrated conversation. Is a injury a bust in your guys' eyes? We would love to hear this conversation down in the comments below. Make sure you guys follow all their socials. Rate, review the audio platform, and we'll catch you guys on the next one.
Peace.